Welcome to ETE MCQs. Now let us solve a problem based on signals and systems. Consider signal x of t is equal to 1 for t between 0 and 2 and 0 otherwise. Given as input to LTI system, that is a linear time invariant system, with impulse response h of t is equal to 1 for t between 0 and 3 and 0 otherwise. Which of the following statement is true about the resulting output signal? So what condition is satisfied by the output signal? Now we already know that. Before we proceed further, let us have a small recap on a LTI system. The input to a LTI-CT system is given as x of t and the output is represented by y of t. Now the system has got a impulse response and that is represented by h of t. The system in itself has got a impulse response which uniquely characterizes the system, that is represented by h of t. Now how do we get the output? This output is obtained by performing convolution between x of t and h of t. You just perform convolution between x of t and h of t. The result is your y of t. Now the question that is asked is, which of the following statement is true about the resulting output signal? So we need to know what the output signal is. Once we get to know what the output signal is, then we can check about which particular option among the four is true, is valid for the given input and impulse response. Okay, so we need to perform convolution between x of t and h of t. And based on convolution integral, this y of t can be further rewritten as this is written. This convolution is a new operator for us. Okay, and this based on convolution integral x of t convolved with h of t is equal to integration between minus infinity to infinity x of tau into h of t minus tau into d tau. This is the formula. This is the convolution integral formula that should be used in order to find the convolution between x of t and h of t. Since it is commutative, x of tau and h of t minus tau, these two variables can be interchanged. Since convolution is commutative, these two expressions are equally valid. Now the point is, we need to perform convolution between x of tau and h of tau. Because we have a dummy variable, tau is used here, tau dominates. So instead of x of t and h of t, we will be representing it as x of tau and h of tau. X of tau 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. The amplitude is 1 again. X of tau is 1 between 0 and 2. So this will be x of tau. Now what is h of tau? H of tau is 1 between 0 and 3. So we have plotted x of tau and h of tau. Whereas the formula requires x of tau into h of t minus tau or h of tau into x of t minus tau. So what we can do is, let us just make use of the first equation so that it will be convenient for us. Let us make use of the first x of tau into h of t minus tau, which means that we will have to retain x of tau, but h of tau has to be folded and then it has to be shifted in order to compute the convolution. Since we need h of t minus tau, after performing folding operation, we will get h of minus tau. Once you perform folding, you will get h of minus tau. 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. The amplitude is 1. After you fold it, the signal is, after folding, this part will get folded to the other side so that you will have the resulting signal as it extends between minus 3 and 0. This is h of minus tau. Next what you do is, from this we need to get what is h of t minus tau. Now the reference is this particular signal which in other words which has got folded at the origin. So when I want to get this h of t minus tau, h of t minus tau will be h of t minus tau, amplitude is 1, you will have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, so on. This point to be t, so you will have the signal of this form with an amplitude is equal to 1. So what I mean to say is this point is taken as t and this is taken as t minus 3. If this point is t, then this should be t minus 3. When t is at 0, this t minus 3 will be at minus 3. When t moves to 0, then t minus 3 will come to minus 3. Okay, so that is what we have here. When t is equal to 0, we get h of minus tau. When t is equal to 0, you get h of minus tau. The what I can say, it can be considered as a starting point of a signal. When we have this x of tau into h of t minus tau, what we actually do is you will just keep this x of tau as such, it will be kept intact, and you will just allow this h of t minus tau just to roll over in the over this particular x of tau. Based on the region of overlap, the output is produced. Actually, the area of overlap is nothing but your output. If there is no overlap, then it means that the output is 0. Now you just notice, let us just consider the case where t is less than 0. We have just taken this to be t. When t is less than 0, you can just notice that t is somewhere less than 0. And when you think about the overlap of this h of t minus tau with this x of tau, there is no overlap because the signal as such doesn't exist for x of tau on the negative values of tau. So there is no overlap. Since there is no overlap, what I mean to say is when t is less than 0, since there is no overlap between x of tau and h of t minus tau, the output is 0. So, which implies output y of t is equal to 0 for t less than 0. As long as t is less than 0, there is no overlap and the output is 0. Next, let us go for the case where t crosses 0 and there is a overlap. Okay, that will be the next diagram that we are going to draw. When t is greater than 0. Now let us draw the diagram and let us see what happens, how the overlap happens. Let us take it as x of tau into h of t minus tau, because we are going to plot both the signals on the same diagram just to measure or check the region of overlap. 1, 2, 3, and here you will have minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. You have x of tau lying between 0 and 2. So this is how it is with an amplitude 1. The amplitude is 1. The signal h of t minus tau by a dashed line. So when I do that, I will be having it as I'm having t is between 0 and somewhere between 0 and 1. So I will have it as so this is this yellow line or orange line. This orange signal refers to x of tau and this blue refers to h of t minus tau, and this point is your t, which means that t is somewhere between 0 and 2, and this point is your t, it refers to t, and this one refers to, again it refers to t minus 3. This one refers to t minus 3 again. You can notice that there is a region of overlap. As long as t is between 0 and 2, there is a region of overlap. Notice that the region of overlap changes when t crosses 2. When h of t minus 2 crosses 2, it changes. So you cannot call it as when t is greater than 0. Better call it as when t is between 0 and 2. Because when t crosses 2, the signal h of t minus tau will be lying somewhere between 2 and 3. If it lies somewhere between 2 and 3, you will have t minus 3 somewhere between minus 1 and minus 2, because the overall duration of the signal is 3. Okay, so the region of overlap varies. So instead of having t greater than 0, it will be precise if we say that when t is between 0 and 2, because we are keeping this stationary, this is kept stationary, x of tau is kept stationary. We just roll over this h of t minus tau just to identify the region of overlap. Based on the area of overlap, the output is produced. So this should be t is between, as long as t is between 0 and 2. When t is between 0 and 2, that is the case we are, that is the range we take into consideration. You will have from the formula y of t is equal to integration between minus infinity to infinity x of tau into h of t minus tau d tau. Now you can notice that based on the, this is your general formula. When you apply for t between 0 and 2, you just notice what happens to the limits of integration. Based on the region of overlap, you can notice that the common region of overlap is between 0 and t. It is not between t minus 3, because t minus 3 is outside the signal x of tau. Whereas the part t and the region between t and 0 is the part or the range that is common for both the signals, and there is a region of overlap. When I apply this condition from the general formula, I will have the limit written as 0 to t. So integration between 0 to t. What is x of tau? X of tau is 1, and h of t minus tau is also 1. Okay, the amplitude is 1 in both the cases. So what do you get? You get 1, which is equal to, you integrate it, you integrate 1, you get t, which is between limits 0 and t. Finally you get t again. Okay, so y of t is equal to t. Y of t is equal to t for t between 0 and 2. These are the output we are getting. When t is less than 0, y of t is equal to 0. And when t is between 0 and 2, y of t is equal to t. These two are the results we have obtained. Now, when t crosses 2, you can notice that when t is somewhere between 2 and, you just notice for the region of overlap, somewhere between 2 and 3. As long as the, yeah, as long as t is between 2 and 3, you can notice that the complete region of overlap is the entire signal x of tau itself. When it crosses 3, this t, when it crosses 3, then the region of overlap varies. It varies. Okay, now let us go for the next case. When t is between 2 and 3, 2 less than t less than or equal to 3, because if t crosses 3, you can notice that when t is at 4, you can notice that t minus 3 is at 1. When t is at 4, t minus 3 will be at 1. The region of overlap varies. Now what you can, I will just draw the respective diagram to make it even clear. So this is tau, this is x of tau into h of t minus tau. You have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It keeps going. 1, 2, 3, and so on. Here you have minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. Now t is somewhere between 2 and 3. So if it is somewhere between 2 and 3, t minus 3 will be somewhere between 0 and minus 1. So this instant is your t. This is t minus 3. Now you can notice that the region of overlap is between 0 and 2. This is the common region of overlap. The common region of overlap is between 0 and 2 because both the signals has got a intersection over here. So the common region of overlap is between 0 and 2. Whereas here the common region of overlap is between 0 and t. That is why you have the limits between 0 and t. Likewise, here the common region of overlap is between 0 and 2. So the integral limits will lie between 0 and 2. So when t is between 2 and 3, you can notice that the common region of overlap is between 0 and 2. So what happens to y of t? Y of t is equal to integration between 0 to 2. X of tau is again 1. H of t minus tau is also 1. So you have 1, 1 and 2. And finally you will have d tau. Okay. So if you integrate it, you will get 1 d tau upon integration gets you t between limits 0 to 2. So the final y of t is equal to 2 as long as t is between 2 and 3. 2 less than t less than or equal to 3. So this is your y of t when t is between 3 and 4. When you have t between 3 and 4, let us just see how the region of overlap or what happens to the region of overlap when t is between 3 and 4. Now when t is between 3 and 4, let me just take it close to 4. I have it somewhere closer to 4 but less than 4. I'll be having the this is how the signal will be. Now this is your t, this part refers to your t, and this is t minus 3. T minus 3 is this part. Okay, now the region of overlap is between 2 and t minus 3. Just notice this is your region of overlap. T is outside the signal x of tau, there is no overlap. Outside the signal x of tau, so there is no overlap. Whereas the region of overlap is between 2 and t minus 3. That is your range. Y of t is nothing but y of t is equal to integration between minus infinity to infinity has been restricted to t minus 3 to 2. T minus 3 to 2. What is x of tau? X of tau has got an amplitude equal to 1 and h of t minus tau also has got an amplitude equal to 1. That is given in the question. It is equal to 1 in both the cases. It is equal to 1 in both the cases and then you have d tau. So finally you get t upon integration between limits t minus 3 to 2. So it is nothing but 2 minus of t minus 3. So which is equal to 2 minus t plus 3. So it is 5 minus t, which is equal to 5 minus t is your y of t. And this is for the case when t is between 3 and 4. 3 less than t, 3 less than t less than or equal to 4. When t is between 3 and 4, this is your y of t is 5 minus t. Now when t crosses 4, when t crosses 4, if it to be precise, this should be up to when t is between 3 and 4, assume that it crosses 4 and the region of overlap is again between t minus 3 and 2. This will exist until t crosses 5 because at 5 t is at 5 and t minus 3 will be at 2. So this limit has to be between 3 to 5 rather than between 3 and 4. It will be fine if we have the limit between 3 and 5 because the region of overlap remains the same for 3 to 4 as well as from 4 to 5. So I can just change the limit from 4 to 5, so that between 3 and 5 this expression is valid. Just understand the reason why I am changing it. This should be 5 because until 5 the region of overlap is between t minus 3 to 2. So 5 minus t is valid between 3 and 5. Okay, which includes 4. Assume that if it crosses 5, what happens? When t crosses 5, then t minus 3 will cross 2. So there is no overlap. There is no region of overlap. That will be the next case. T is greater than 5. So this is case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4 is between 3 and 5, and this will be the next case. When t is greater than 5, there is no overlap. You can just notice when at 5 you will have t minus 3 outside 2. So there is no region of overlap. Since there is no region of overlap, y of t will be 0. Y of t is equal to 0. Similar to t less than 0 case, even for t greater than 5, there is no overlap between both the signals. Hence output is 0. Now let us focus on the conditions. What do we have? Y of t is equal to 1 for t between 1 and 2. Just check for t between 1 and 2, y of t is t actually. Y of t is equal to t. So the first condition is invalid. The question asked is you are supposed to find the true statement. This is a false statement. This statement is incorrect. This is false because for t between 0 and 1 up to 2, even up to 2, for t between 0 and 2, y of t is t. Whereas here you have 1. So it is incorrect. The next case, derivative of y of t is equal to 0 for t between 2 and 3. Just notice when t is between 2 and 3, y of t is 2. Y of t is a constant. Y of t is a constant. Derivative of a constant is 0. When derivative of constant is 0, then this condition is correct because dy of t is 0 in this case between when t is between 2 and 3. So this is the true condition. Next you notice y of t is increasing in the interval between 3 and 4. Just notice when you have t between 3 and 5 itself, which includes 4. When t is between 3 and 5, you can notice that you have 5 minus t, which means that it is decreasing. There is an increase in t, but y of t decreases when t increases. Because the region of overlap will get reduced when t goes beyond, moves from 3 to 4. On the positive side, when t travels, y of t, h of t minus 2 travels, what happens is the region of overlap will get reduced. It is decreasing. It is not increasing. It should be decreasing. It is a decreasing function. If you have got decreasing here, then it is correct. Whereas it is increasing. Increasing is incorrect. So this is also incorrect. The maximum value of y of t is 3. Actually, you can notice based on the complete overlap, the maximum value of t is 2. It is nothing but 2. It is 2. So this is also incorrect. If you had maximum value of y of t is 2, then it is correct. Y of t is equal to 3 is incorrect. So this is your correct answer. Option B is correct. Now the point is, if you are good enough in folding and thinking about the region of overlap, you can write the problem, you can find the solution directly. But I have solved it completely just to understand the entire process. When it comes for convolution integral, you should be able to solve it and you should be able to get the final solution. So B is correct. Finally, we have determined y of t. I will finally summarize y of t altogether. Y of t is equal to, what all we have obtained, y of t is equal to 0 for t less than 0. It is equal to 0 for t less than 0. Next, y of t is equal to t for t between 0 and 2. So it is equal to t for t between 0 and 2. Next, y of t is equal to 2 for t between 2 and 3. So it is equal to 2 for t between 2 and 3. And it is equal to 5 minus t for t between 3 and 5. 5 minus t for t between 3 less than t, this should be less than or equal to, less than or equal to 5. And finally 0 for t greater than 5. So this is what we get finally. This is your y of t. Y of t actually exists only between 2 and 5. Y of t exists only between 2 and 5. You can also have a graphical representation for y of t. Okay, so let me just draw the graphical representation again for your understanding. That is the output that is obtained using convolution integral. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. Now the amplitude is 1, 2, and 3. Now the output signal y of t is equal to 0 for t less than 0. It remains 0 as long as t is less than 0. When t is between 0 and 2, output takes a value is equal to t itself. As long as it is between 0 and 2, the output is linear. The output is linear. So it is almost a straight line between 0 and 2. Okay, it is between 0 and 2, it is almost linear. And it remains constant between 2 and 3. Until it reaches 3, the output remains constant at 2. And then between 3 and 5, y of t is nothing but 5 minus t. So at 3, you have 5 minus 3 which is equal to 2. And at 4, it becomes 1. At 4, it becomes 1. And at 5, it again drops down to 0. At 4, it becomes 1. At 5, it drops down to 0. This is your output signal. This is your graphical representation. And this part is your functional representation of the output signal. Functional representation of the output signal. Okay, now you can check. When again I am just repeating the process. Y of t is equal to 1 for t between 1 and 2. No, it is increasing. It is increasing and it is linear. So 1 is incorrect. dy of t divided by dt is 0 between 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3, it is constant. It is constant. Once you take derivative, it becomes 0. So this is correct. This condition is correct. And y of t is decreasing between 3 and 4. Sorry, it is increasing between 3 and 4. Actually, it is decreasing. Perfectly, it is decreasing. So this is incorrect. And maximum value of y of t is 3. No, it is 2. So this is your right answer. Okay, if you are good in animating the signals, you can just think about after folding, the maximum region of overlap will be 2. So obviously this becomes 0. And since the t moves away from the signal will get reduced. The region of overlap will reduce in this case. In this case, the region of overlap reduces. That is why you get a 5 minus t, you get a minus sign. So this is also incorrect. Maximum value is not 3. And you know that as long as t is between 2 and 3, the region of overlap is constant. So you can just check this answer initially. I have just worked out for your understanding. But if you are good in analyzing, interpreting, and animating how the region of overlap happens, then it will become easy for you to find the solution correctly. So the correct option is B for this problem. Thank you.